working with a coordinate plane, one of the main skills we need is to be able to plot points on it. In order to do this, we need to understand the information our ordered pair is giving us and transfer this information onto our coordinate plane. In our ordered pair, our first value is our x value. We're going to plot that x value on our horizontal x-axis. Our second value is our y value. We're going to plot that information on our vertical y-axis. The point where our x value and our y value intersect is where we can plot our point. You'll notice when we're working with an ordered pair that it's inside a set of parentheses with a comma separating them. If we're going to plot the point 3, 9, I first need to go across 3 places on my x-axis. Then my y value is 9, so I need to go up 9 places on my y-axis. Where the two intersect, I can go ahead and make my point. So that others know what point this is, we can go ahead and label it. So I'm going to label this 3, 9, and I'm going to put it inside a set of parentheses with the comma separating the values. If I'm working with fractions, I'm going to follow the same rules. To plot 2.5, I'm going to have to do some estimating. The x-axis scale is all in whole numbers, so 2.5 is going to fall midway between 2 and 3. My y value is 10, so I'm going to go up from 2.5 up my y-axis to 10 and plot my point. We can then go ahead and label this point 2.5, 10. If I'm working with decimals, the same rules are going to apply. I'm going to plot my point 1, 4.5. To do this, I'm going to go across 1 place on my x-axis. For my y value, we're again going to have to do some estimating since our y value scale is in whole numbers. 4 and 5/10 is going to fall midway between 4 and 5. So I can make my point about there. We can then label it 1, 4 and 5/10. On our last set of points, we notice they use the same values. Our first point is 2, 8. Our second point is 8, 2. This is where we see in plotting points that order truly matters. When I go to plot the point 2, 8, I'm going to go across 2 places on my x-axis and then up 8 places on my y-axis. This is where I can then plot the point 2, 8. On the other point, 8, 2, I'm first going to go across 8 places on my x-axis and then up 2 places on my y-axis. When I look at these 2 points, I notice that even though they use the same values, 2, 8 and 8, 2 are not in the same location. When we're plotting points on a coordinate plane, it's crucial we pay attention to order. Our x-axis always comes first with our x value. Our y-axis always comes second with our y value. Understanding the data on a graph is a crucial skill when working with coordinate planes. For each of the points on our graph, we're going to work to determine which ordered pair best represents their location. Let's start with this point here in the middle on our graph. In an ordered pair, our x-axis always is represented first. So we need to check to see where this point lines up on our x-axis. We see that this point lines up with the 4 on our x-axis. So in this ordered pair, the x-coordinate would be represented with a 4. We then check to see where it lines up on our y-axis. This point lines up with the 5 on our y-axis, so its y-coordinate is going to be represented with a 5. This point is going to be represented by the ordered pair 4, 5. Remember, ordered pairs are always inside a set of parentheses with a comma separating the x and y values. Next, let's focus on this point here at the top of our graph. For this point, we can check and see where it lines up on the x-axis, and we see this point lines up with the 6 on our x-axis. So its x-coordinate is represented by a 6. Comparing it on the y-axis, when we come across, we see this point lines up with the 10 on our y-axis. So this point at our top of our graph is represented by the point 6, 10. If we compare it to this point here on the far right on our graph, we can see that this point has an x-coordinate of 10, and it has a y-coordinate of 6. Comparing these 2 points, we see that they use the same digits, 10 and 6, but they use them in different orders. Which one is the x-coordinate and which one is the y-coordinate makes a big difference in their location. We always need to make sure our x value is our first coordinate and our y value is our second coordinate in our ordered pair. Fractions and decimals can also be part of ordered pairs. If we look here at this point, we see that this point is going to fall between 0 and 1. Since the scale on our x-axis is counting by ones, and this point falls about halfway between 0 and 1, I can estimate that its x value is going to be 1/2. Coming across on the y-axis, we see it lines up with the 3. So the y value would be 3. So this point would be represented by the ordered pair 1/2, 3. To finish off our last point, we can see that its x value is going to be represented by the 7. Coming across on the y-axis, we see it falls between 1 and 2. Our scale on our y-axis is also counting by ones, so since our point falls about halfway between 1 and 2, we can estimate its value to be about 1 5/10. So the ordered pair representing this point would be 7, 1 5/10. When we're working with ordered pairs, it's always important to make sure we have them in the correct order. We start by determining the location on our x-axis, and then we determine its location on our y-axis. Remember, our ordered pair should always be inside a set of parentheses with a comma separating the x and y values. Check out the other videos in our playlist and don't forget to click on subscribe. Thanks for watching!